You ever have one of those moments where your heart just drops? Like you check your bank account expecting to see your savings, but instead it in #39. Nearly empty? Yeah, that was me. One regular afternoon, I logged in and found out that over $18,000 had vanished. Gone. First, I thought maybe it was a glitch or fraud. But then the truth hit me harder than anything I could in #39. The imagined. My own sister had taken my bank card, withdrawn every last dollar, and spent it like it grew on trees. I'm talking luxury shopping, expensive spa days, even renting out a villa for a party I wasn't even invited to. The most painful part? She didn't even seem sorry. And when I confronted her and brought it to my parents, I thought they'd be furious, ready to help me fix this. But nope. Instead, they defended her. Said she was just going through a phase or didn't know better. Meanwhile, I was left picking up the pieces of a future I had worked hard to build, money saved from years of side hustles, scholarships, and part-time jobs. It felt like betrayal from every direction, like I was the problem for even bringing it up. And just when I thought things couldn't get worse, something unexpected happened. Something that changed everything. So stay with me because what came next shocked all of us, and it's the part no one saw coming. Let me take you back a bit, just so you understand how deep this cut. My sister and I were never super close, but we weren't enemies either. We grew up in the same house, same rules, same everything. I was always the one who followed the path, good grades, saving money, helping around the house. And she? She was the free spirit. Always chasing trends, always needing the newest thing, always brushing off consequences like they didn't apply to her. Still, I never thought she'd actually steal from me. I mean, who looks at their sibling and #39's life savings and thinks, yeah, I'll just take that? I had been saving that money since high school. Every birthday gift, every paycheck, every extra shift, it all went into that account. It wasn't just money, it was security, peace of mind, my future. When I asked her about it, her first reaction wasn't guilt. It was annoyance. Like I was overreacting. She said she needed it more than I did and that I was too uptight about money. And here's the wild part, my parents actually agreed with her. They said I should learn to let go and that family is more important than money. I felt like I was living in some weird alternate universe. I started wondering how long this had been building up behind my back. Had she watched me save all these years, knowing she might take it someday? Or was it really just a reckless decision? Either way, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more going on. Something didn't sit right. And the deeper I looked, the more I started to uncover. Things about her life I didn't know, and decisions my parents had made that they never told me about. After that, things at home felt completely off. I wasn't just angry anymore, I was confused, hurt, and honestly starting to feel like the outsider in my own family. Every time I brought up the money, my parents would shut down the conversation or say I was being dramatic. I started noticing little things too, like how my sister never seemed worried. Not once did she try to apologize or offer to pay anything back. It was like she truly believed she was entitled to that $18,000 just because we were family. But then I found out something that really changed the way I saw everything. One night, I overheard my parents talking in the kitchen. My dad was saying something about keeping it quiet and not letting it get worse. That's when it hit me, this wasn't just about money. There was something deeper going on. I started digging through some old papers in the house, and that's when I found a letter from a bank addressed to my sister. It wasn't just shopping and parties. She was deep in credit card debt, way deeper than I ever imagined. Thousands and thousands. And somehow my parents had known for months. They had been covering for her, helping her hide things, maybe even enabling it. It felt like my whole family had been keeping secrets behind my back, all while I thought we were just having a disagreement. Suddenly, this wasn't just about stolen savings, it was about lies, trust, and realizing I didn't know the people I lived with as well as I thought I did. The worst part? I started to question if they ever really had my back. If something this serious could be brushed off, what else had they been willing to ignore or hide? That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept spinning, trying to connect all the pieces. My sister's secret debts, my parents' silence, the stolen $18,000. It all felt too big to ignore now. I knew I had to confront them, all of them, but I also knew if I didn't approach it right, they'd just shut me down again. So I started collecting everything. Bank statements, texts, even screenshots of her social media posts showing off the things she bought. I needed proof, not just for them but to remind myself I wasn't crazy for feeling betrayed. The tension in the house got heavier with every passing day. My sister barely looked me in the eye anymore. And when she did, it was always with this smug look, like she thought she'd gotten away with it. My parents kept acting like nothing was wrong, asking if I wanted to join them for dinner like we hadn't just ripped the trust out of our family. Then one morning, I woke up to find another email from the bank. This time it was about a loan application in my name, one I definitely hadn't made. My heart dropped. I rushed to check the details and yep, it had my name, my info, but not my signature. That's when everything clicked. It wasn't just the $18,000. My sister had access to more of my personal info than I realized. And now she was using it to go even deeper. I felt trapped. If I went to the police, would my parents turn on me completely? If I stayed quiet, how far would she go next? I knew I couldn't sit on this anymore. The truth had to come out. And it had to happen now, no matter what it cost. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, the second twist hit me like a brick. I decided to freeze my credit and pull a full report just to make sure there weren't any other surprises waiting for me. What I saw next almost made me drop my phone. There were 3 more credit cards opened in my name. Not 1, not 2, 3. All maxed out. And they weren't new either. They'd been active for months. One of them had charges going back to the same week I gave my sister access to my laptop to finish a job application. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just a mistake. This was deliberate. Planned. And for all I knew, it had been going on under my nose the entire time. I felt sick. It wasn't just about her stealing money anymore, it was identity theft, and it was personal. I had trusted her, even defended her at times, thinking maybe she didn't understand the damage she caused. But now the line had been crossed so far there was no going back. And then out of nowhere I got a message. Not from my sister, not from my parents, but from someone I didn't expect at all. A guy I barely knew from my sister's old friend group. He told me he had something I needed to see. Said it was about the money and why my sister took it. At first I thought it was a scam, but when he mentioned details only she and my parents would know, I knew it was real. Now the situation was spinning way beyond just family drama. There was something deeper, something she'd been hiding not just from me, but maybe even from our parents. And whatever it was, it explained everything. Or at least I hoped it would. I agreed to meet the guy at a quiet coffee shop nearby. I didn't know what to expect, part of me still hoped it was all a mistake. But when he pulled out his phone and showed me screenshots, everything started to click. Turns out, my sister had been involved in something way more dangerous than I ever imagined. She'd been caught up in some shady online group promising fast money through fake accounts, loan fraud, and identity scams. And she wasn't just a victim, she was actively helping run it. That $18,000 she stole from me? It was to pay off people who were threatening to expose her or worse. I sat there in shock, staring at evidence that my sister had been dragging my name into something illegal. I finally understood why my parents were protecting her. They had found out months ago but didn't know how to handle it. They thought if they kept it quiet, it would all just go away. But it didn't, it only got worse. That night, I confronted all of them. I laid out the proof on the table, every stolen credit, every lie, every piece of evidence. My sister broke down. For the first time, she actually looked scared. My parents were silent, stunned. They had no idea how deep it had gotten either. They'd only seen the surface. Just when I thought it was finally over, the final twist hit. One of the loan companies had already flagged the fraud and filed a report. And since everything was under my name, I was the one they were after. That's when I realized the fight wasn't just about family anymore, it was about clearing my name and saving my future before it all collapsed.